Good day. Welcome to our 18th annual academic convocation, and welcome to this marvelous energy that is Medgar Evers College. For the past 18 years, in the first week in December, we have ended each year with the formality and pageantry of our convocation ceremonies. We revel in occasions like these, symbolic as they are of tradition and continuity, of links to the past and the present, and most importantly, of new beginnings and a future that is ours to shape. Many people have asked me why we have an annual academic convocation ceremony. My response to them is there are many occasions in our lives when we need rituals to keep us focused on what is truly important and to remind us of all the wonderful opportunities and possibilities that await us individually and collectively. I remain steadfast in my convictions that rituals are vital within the life of any institution, and this 18th annual convocation is no different. For centuries, convocations have been held by institutions to honor and laud individuals who have made significant impact on the world of knowledge and ideas and service. This year, there's added fanfare and meaning to this special occasion. We are bestowing honorary doctorates to 3 pillars within the African American community for their work, visionary leadership, and steadfast commitment to people of color and women. Our distinguished honorees are stalwarts and righteous individuals because of all of their accomplishments, and more importantly, because they have answered their calling to impact humanity. Just as they have answered their calling, you, my beloved students, have answered a calling. Your presence here today signals your deep-rooted commitment to ensuring that Medgar Evers College traditions live on. For that, we salute you today as well. As we acknowledge the significant contributions of our honorees and reflect on the successes of others who are here today, let us take seriously our responsibility to ourselves, our community, and the historic mission of our institution, Medgar Evers College, that have been at the forefront of social justice. As African Americans and as members of the world family, it is our destiny to lead in the critical re-examination of the structures of our society. We have a duty to advance the human race and a calling to develop them into forms and images that honor the dignity of all humanity. Again, welcome to our 18th convocation. I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce to some and to present to others the Vice Chancellor for Student Development, Dr. Gary Moore, who will be bringing greetings on behalf of our Chancellor, Dr. Moore.
Well, good afternoon. It is afternoon. It is my pleasure to be here to represent the Chancellor, Dr. Matthew Goldstein, who is attending a hearing today from the Higher Education Commission. He's out there trying to get more money for our university. But when he asked me to come and represent him at a convocation, he only had to say Medgar. He didn't have to finish the name, because whenever I have an opportunity to come to Brooklyn and be at this college, I'm always so excited to be here. Not because of the food, not because it's just a small task to drive over to Brooklyn, but because of what you represent. And you represent everything that is excellent. Your president is such a wonderful example of what our students must become when they graduate from Medgar Evers. And I applaud our president here. I am so pleased to be a part of Medgar Evers. I have claimed this as my college as well. Your president has invited me to come anytime I want, so that's what I'm doing. I come whenever I want. This is a great institution, and you're doing some great things. Even before I considered coming to CUNY, I knew about Medgar Evers. I knew about Medgar Evers. Not because it has a name that represents someone who did great things in our society, but because of the excellence that it is doing. So I applaud you, the students. This is a great opportunity you have to make a difference in this world. Thank you.
For I don't know how I'd run this race alone.
Hold my hand, Lord, while I run this race. While I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain.
Stand by me, Lord, while this race. Stand by me, Lord, while I run this race. Stand by me, while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Oh, my Lord, guide my feet, Lord, while I run this race. For I don't want to run
St. James Trio and Mr. Woodard for that beautiful, beautiful selection. President Edison O. Jackson will now recognize our honorees for this occasion and award the honorary degrees. Mr. President.
Before I begin this portion of our ceremony, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Assemblyman Kareem Kamara. Please. Medgar Evers College sits in his district, and we are so happy that he's here with us. We also would like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Hazel Dukes. And Dr. Marcella Maxwell. And the First Lady of Medgar Evers College, my wife, Florence Jackson. There are three individuals that we are honored to honor at this 18th Convocation. There are two people whom we recognize and honor for outstanding and distinguished achievements in the publishing industry. They are Mrs. Faye Rodney and Mr. Carl Rodney. We will also recognize and honor Dr. Beverly Guy Sheftal for outstanding and distinguished achievements in African American women's studies. I now ask Mrs. Faye A. Rodney, escorted by Dr. Schuger, Dean of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, to please come forward. Dean Schuger, representing the faculty of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, will read the citation.
Whereas Faye A. Rodney is the president of the New York Carib News, co-founded over 28 years ago with her husband, Carl B. Rodney, to provide consistent, timely, accurate, and reliable information on the Caribbean region and the Caribbean American community in the United States, and has since grown into the largest circulated publication serving the Caribbean American community. And whereas Faye A. Rodney is a woman of distinction whose pioneering efforts have helped the Carib News to provide a medium for dialogue and information, serving as a bridge for the larger community while also assisting in the assimilation process and promoting the values and contributions of the Caribbean American community. And whereas Faye A. Rodney has worked selflessly and untiringly to use the New York Carib News as a vehicle for education by promoting education outreach programs in the metropolitan areas of Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens, and Westchester and Nassau counties, by providing coping information on students and parents' rights for the immigrant community in New York City, and by providing recognition and scholarship awards to students in underserved communities. And whereas Faye A. Rodney has received many awards and recognitions, including the Prime Minister's Medal of Recognition from the Government of Jamaica, and is a member of numerous boards and civic organizations, including the Borough of Manhattan Community College Advisory Board, the Caribbean Cultural Center, Wyndham Resorts Women's Advisory Board, and Caribbean Women's Health Association, and was instrumental in the relaunching of the Brooklyn chapter of the NAACP. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the President, his administration, the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community council of Medgar Evers College join in respect and admiration of Faye A. Rodney and salute her for her dedication and commitment to serving the needs of the Caribbean American community of New York State, and bestow upon her the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. In witness whereof he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York to be affixed this 5th day of December 2007. Edison O. Jackson, President.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby award the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, to Faye A. Rodney, with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, students, and friends, I'm honored to present to you Dr. Faye A. Rodney.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm truly honored. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. President Jackson, distinguished faculty, students, distinguished guests, gathered here to celebrate the 18th annual Convocation celebration of Medgar Evers. I stand before you today with both pride and humility as this very high honor of an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from this prestigious institution is conferred upon me. Medgar Evers College, this gem of the City University system, this institution deeply rooted in the community and its commitment to innovative approaches to educating a student, is an institution whose affiliation with us is a deep honor. Under the dynamic and sustained leadership of President Jackson, we have witnessed an institution overcoming many challenges and not a few obstacles. But with vision, foresight, and determination, Medgar Evers College is leading the way in so many areas in the community and beyond. The success of Medgar Evers College, I know, is an inspiration to its faculty and students because it demonstrates what vision, determination, and commitment can achieve. And that should not be lost on anyone in this room today. It suggests we must never get lost in despair. We should never be discouraged. We should not choose to be anonymous member of the pack. We must distinguish ourselves at all times. We must chart a course of enrichment and demonstrate to the world our value. This is why I'm so moved by the singular honor that this great institution has bestowed on me today. It is a very proud and significant day in my life. I wish to thank President Jackson, his cabinet, the faculty, the council, and students for this high honor. I congratulate President Jackson for the outstanding leadership he has demonstrated. We know there's more to come from this great institution, and we, my husband and I, Carib News, commit ourselves to developing a strong partnership. We intend to make the names of Faye and Carl Rodney an integral part of Medgar Evers College future as we commit to build a scholarship endowment in our names. Thank you. We could not have associated ourselves with a fan institution, and we are committed fully to be involved with Medgar Evers College as it strives to fulfill its mission. We create success, one student at a time, as it expands its mission to building communities and strengthening societies. Today, it remains indelibly in my mind what has happened here today, and I thank you so very much. May Medgar Evers College grow from strength to strength, and may God strengthen its leader, Dr. O. Jackson, and the faculty. Thank you.
I now ask Mr. Carl B. Rodney, escorted by Dr. Shuja, Dean of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, to please come forward. Dean Shuja, representing the faculty of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, will read the citation. Dean Shuja.
Whereas Carl B. Rodney is publisher and CEO of the New York Carib News, co-founded over 28 years ago with his wife, Dr. Faye A. Rodney, to provide consistent, timely, accurate, and reliable information on the Caribbean region and the Caribbean American community in the United States, and has since grown into the largest circulated publication serving the Caribbean American community. And whereas, due to the pioneering efforts of Carl B. Rodney, Carib News is now a recognized institution in the community, working with major financial and educational institutions to improve the quality of life for its constituents, sponsoring international delegations to Israel, Korea, Japan, South Africa, and over 18 other African countries, organizing and sponsoring the Caribbean Expo at Lincoln Center, which focused on the business and culture of the Caribbean. And whereas Carl B. Rodney serves as Vice President of the Board of the Center for the Performing Arts at Brooklyn College, as Chairman of the American Foundation of the University of the West Indies, is a member of the Board of the United Way International, is a founding member of the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and is the Regional President of the National Association of Black Publishers. And whereas Carl B. Rodney has received numerous awards and recognitions, including the Order of Distinction Commander Class from the government of Jamaica, and he has proven himself to be unselfish, dedicated, and committed to the goal of projecting the importance and potential of the Caribbean American community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the President, his administration, the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community council of Medgar Evers College join in respect and admiration of Carl B. Rodney, and bestow upon him the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. In witness whereof, Edison O. Jackson has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York to be affixed this 5th day of December, 2007. Edison O. Jackson, President.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby award the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, to Carl B. Rodney, with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, students, and friends, it is my honor and privilege to present to you Dr. Carl B. Rodney.
Thank you very much. President Edison O. Jackson, President of York College, Dr. Marcy Keyes, Vice Chancellor Emeritus of the University of the West Indies, Professor Rex Nettleford, friends and members of the Diplomatic Corps, elected officials, faculty member, certainly outstanding students, family, friends, and distinguished guests, good afternoon. And it is indeed a good afternoon for me to be standing before you, having received this prestigious honorary doctorate of humane letter degree from Medgar Evers College of the University of New York City, an outstanding and dynamic institution. Indeed, it is a good afternoon and also a good day, because it has created for me a lifetime of appreciation with this great institution named after an icon of the civil rights movement, whose commitment to individual freedom and dignity exemplify the work that we see here in Medgar Evers under the leadership of President Jackson. And this mission means a lot, not just to Central Brooklyn, but to the greater diaspora. And we have the good fortune to have someone like President Jackson, who has transformed this college, not just to the work of Central Brooklyn, but to national and international stature, capturing the essence and mission of Medgar Evers, but still remain deeply rooted in the value and development of Central Brooklyn community. Medgar Evers College represents the hope of our people, and we can see and feel that difference every day. At a time when we have more black men in prison than in college, through the leadership of President Jackson, Medgar Evers College has a record-breaking 32% in male graduation rate in the 2006-2007 academic year. Its high male enrollment rate bucks the national trend, and the college commitment to retain them and the Male Empowerment and Development Center is now a prototype being adopted around the world. This has attracted distinguished scholars and concerned celebrities looking for real issues and real chance to serve the endangered black male community. We've seen Bill Cosby and noted psychiatrist Alvin Toussaint all taking an interest in this initiative developing here at Medgar Evers. We want to congratulate President Jackson and his fine team because they're making good days and nights for so many. You're creating hope out of despair. You're turning ignorance into knowledge. And this is why the expanded collaboration of Medgar Evers College and its program into the wider diaspora is one that we see as an issue that we'd like to encourage, support, and be a part of. The forces that impact the student body in central Brooklyn are the same faced by developing countries in the Caribbean and in Africa. And so part of our own mission with Medgar Evers College and President Jackson is to develop a partnership of collaboration with the university and institutions in the Caribbean. President Jackson has been way out on that, already establishing connections in various Caribbean countries. But we are now working to make that even more meaningful. And we have, through working with President Jackson and Medgar Evers, we're looking at the joint initiative now being formalized between the University of the West Indies and Medgar Evers College under the umbrella of the Caribbean American Diaspora Initiative. We feel privileged to be a part of this initiative, and it's a mission that the newspaper has been committed to for the past 28 years. The mission to connect community and to strengthen the diaspora and the diaspora ties for greater good and wider benefit. Last year, when the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Johannesburg with campus in Soweto came to New York, his first request was to meet President Jackson to find out what they were doing and how those programs can be adopted in his university. And this morning, while we waited at breakfast, Vice Chancellor Emeritus Professor Rex Nettleford of the University of the West Indies, in conversation with Dean Gonzalez, talked about the urgency to get the program, to get the initiative that is now experiencing at Medgar Evers out into the diaspora, because we're all suffering from that throughout the diaspora. And so we recognize the value of education. We also recognize the value of how education will prepare us for business. And so Medgar Evers, under the leadership of President Jackson in Antigua, met with prime ministers, met with ministers of education, met with local college to bring a commitment of growth and development to the greater diaspora. And so we see Medgar Evers as this beacon that has developed in central Brooklyn, doing great work, but certainly providing light through certainly the Caribbean and of course Africa. And so without putting more burden on President Jackson, his leadership is certainly required and needed throughout the diaspora, and he has taken it on with a willingness. It was not the first time President Jackson has been with us to our conference. In fact, it was the third time, and he has always demonstrated his commitment to expand the vision and to increase the participation. And so we want to make our commitment to the worthy causes that have been demonstrated by Medgar Evers under the leadership of President Jackson. We are aware and delighted to accept this award, this honor, but we know we didn't get here on our own. There are several people who through the years have been very helpful and very dynamic in providing us with leadership. And there are one or two here with us that I'd just like to take a minute to recognize. When we broached the idea 28 years ago in a weekly newspaper and everybody thought we were crazy, there's one individual who volunteered to be our founding editor. She's now the president of York College, Dr. Marcia Keyes. And it's that kind of spirit. And when we were trying to get validation for the concept, the idea, it was Professor Rex Nettleford who urged the need for this kind of media communication in the diaspora and certainly encourage us as we move along. Sitting in the audience, people like Dr. Marcella Maxwell, always taking us to meet the right people to make the mission work. Hazel Dukes, you can't have a better friend. She has been with us throughout a number of the conferences, but always providing us help, guidance. Mike Flanagan. I see James Harding came in. In the early days, Jim was certainly part of the Carib News team making things work. Dr. Megan McLaughlin. There's so many people we need to say thanks to as we celebrate this wonderful day. And we commit to the mission and commit to the cause that is exemplified by Dr. Jackson and this wonderful college. We want to thank you very much. It is indeed a great day. President Jackson, Council, and students.
Thank you, Dr. Call Rodney. When they get a telephone call at their house, then they have to say, which one? But it certainly is our honor. I now ask Beverly Guy Sheftall, escorted by Dr. Shuja, Dean of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, to please come forward. Dean Shuja, representing the faculty of the School of Liberal Arts and Education, will read the citation.
Whereas Beverly Guy Sheftall is the Anna Julia Cooper Professor of Women's Studies at Spelman College and the founding director of Women's Research and Resource Center, and is also a professor of English at Spelman and an adjunct professor at Emory University's Institute for Women's Studies, where she teaches graduate courses and is nationally recognized as a leading black feminist scholar. And whereas Beverly Guy Sheftall was instrumental in establishing both a journal devoted exclusively to the experiences of women of African descent and a women's studies major at Spelman College, and has published a number of texts within African American studies and women's studies, which have been noted as seminal works by other scholars, and has co-edited 2 anthologies, and her most recent publication is a book co-authored with Dr. Johnetta B. Cole, President Emeritus of Spelman College. And whereas the work of Beverly Guy Sheftall has yielded more than 2 decades of scholarship dedicated to African American women's issues, making her a sought-after speaker on feminist issues and a prolific reviewer for magazines, and has served as a consultant to numerous universities with women's studies and other multicultural programs. And whereas Beverly Guy Sheftall earned her bachelor's degree from Spelman College, an MA from Atlanta University, and a PhD from Emory University, and has received numerous awards and honors, including the Bronze Jubilee Award for Literature, the Candace Award in Education, and the Carnegie Foundation Teaching Academy Teacher Scholar Award, and the Emory Medal, and serves on the boards of many civic and professional organizations, including the Board of Directors of Dillard University in New Orleans, the National Advisory Board, Morehouse Research Institute, and is President of the Faculty Council at Spelman College. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the President, his administration, the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and community council of Medgar Evers College join in respect and admiration of Beverly Guy Sheftall and salute her scholarship on behalf of African American women everywhere. In witness whereof, Dr. Edison O. Jackson has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York to be affixed this 5th day of December 2007. Signed, Edison O. Jackson, President.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, I hereby award the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, to Beverly Guy Sheftall, with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, students, and guests, it is my honor and privilege to present to you Dr. Beverly Guy Sheftall.
You know, I've been to a whole lot of academic programs in my 38 years of being in the academy, but this is the best. All right. President Edison Jackson, Provost Charlotte Phoenix, Board of Trustees, my faculty colleagues, beloved Medgar Evers students, friends of the college. Like Faye Rodney, I am really overwhelmed, and that doesn't happen very much. I am also very pleased to accept this precious honor today from Medgar Evers, an institution with an extraordinary mission and a place I have come to love and respect and hope to keep returning to. I am particularly ecstatic about the recognition from another black college of my work in women's studies. Very controversial work in women's studies. Very briefly, I want to remind us that the discipline of women's studies is rooted in a nearly 4 decades old movement, now worldwide, for gender equality, including on the continent of our ancestral homeland, Africa. This struggle for gender equality now stands on international law and conventions of the United Nations. The faculty at Medgar Evers College, especially Andre McLaughlin and Sophia Bandelli, have been an important part of that movement and were among thousands of women in Nairobi in 1985 or Beijing in 1995, including a Spelman faculty team that helped shape those international conventions for gender equality. So Medgar Evers contributed to the eradication of injustices against women around the globe, and we should all be proud of that. You know, being competitive in the 21st century means that our students must be knowledgeable about human diversity in relationship to gender, race, ethnicity, nationality, culture, and religion. That is why it is so important that Medgar Evers and Spelman are among the very few black colleges who take women's studies seriously. We must be vigilant, HBCUs and black communities more broadly, about our ongoing commitments to race and gender equity, feminist struggle, and other social movements that help to transform a world in desperate need of our vision and collective efforts. Now, I certainly have written some books, but I want to say that I'm really an activist. And so what I want to do right now is to bear witness to the impact that students like you at Medgar Evers can have on injustices that impact black folk around the globe. 2 years ago, 3 Spelman students, whose names I won't call right now, took on that mighty, greedy hip-hop industry and a few gangster rappers because of their degrading images of both black women and men in music videos and rap lyrics. One result of their efforts, in addition to camping out at Viacom's board meetings, was Essence's Take Back the Music campaign and trips to the Spelman campus by international and serious black filmmakers, one of whom was your own Byron Hurt, New Yorker, whose highly acclaimed documentary, Beyond Beats and Rhymes, continues to engage young people like yourselves as we struggle to create and circulate positive and uplifting images of who we are as black women and men in all our splendor, beauty, intellect, resilience, and courage. A luta continua. The struggle continues.
In honor of our 3 distinguished honorees today, we will now have another musical selection by the St. James Trio, who will perform You'll Never Walk Alone from the musical Carousel by Rodgers and Hammerstein.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never